he who will not be named, I'll name him later, posted, "Anybody that cheats on the election is going to jail," which I agree. Agent Orange secretly sent his buddy Vlad a shipment of hard-to-get COVID testing machines for his personal use. You wouldn't want one of the most villainous murderers on the planet to get a cough, would you? Woodward is a total sleazebag who has lost it mentally, and he's slow, lethargic, incompetent, and overall a boring person with no personality. Daughter's sweet spot. Trump once made a senior aide leave the room so he could have a private call with Putin, which...
It started with a joke, just like it always does. Jimmy Kimmel, live on air, flashing that signature smirk, leaned forward into the camera and said what millions had wondered but few dared to say. "Where is Melania, really?" The studio erupted in laughter, but what followed was no laughing matter. Within hours, Donald Trump was raging. Kimmel had spent the past week poking the bear, teasing out Melania's recent absences with an unrelenting monologue laced with sarcasm and barbed humor. But this time, he didn't stop at jokes. He brought receipts, old clips, interviews, body language experts, and most damning of all, a newly resurfaced video from a private gala in 2021 that had never made headlines until now. In the video, Melania was caught speaking candidly with a fashion executive, appearing to mock Trump's post-presidency obsessions, his golf scores, his social media posts, even his ongoing insistence that the 2020 election was stolen. Her voice was low, her tone was dry, but the meaning was unmistakable. She was tired. Tired of the spectacle. Tired of the chaos. Tired of him. Kimmel, with his impeccable timing, rolled the clip to gasps and stunned silence in the studio.
"Shirtless on my horse again." And this is quite a detail. During the height of the pandemic, right around the time Trump was trying to get us to stop testing for COVID because the high numbers were making him look bad, the bigly scoop for Bob Woodward involves Trump's KGBFF. The book says Trump has spoken to Vladimir Putin 7 times since he left office. "Shirtless on my horse again." And this is quite a detail. During the height of the pandemic, right around the time Trump was trying to get us to stop testing for COVID because the high numbers were making him look bad, and admits that Joe Biden won the election fair and square, but says Trump, quote, doesn't like to hear that. So, well, by all means...
"I mean, she said what we were all thinking," he quipped before flashing a knowing grin. Maybe the real wall Melania wanted to build was between her and Mar-a-Lago. The internet exploded. Clips of the segment raced across social media. TikTokers reacted, YouTubers broke it down frame by frame, and Twitter, X, burned with hashtags like "Where is Melania?", "Free Melania," and the brutal "Divorce Donnie." By morning, the entire country was buzzing, but no one buzzed louder than Trump. Reports from inside Mar-a-Lago painted the picture vividly. Trump fuming in his office, red in the face, pacing, phone glued to his ear, demanding that his inner circle shut Kimmel down. One aide described it as worse than the McCain feud, while another claimed Trump was threatening to sue ABC into the Stone Age. He took to Truth Social just before sunrise. "Jimmy Kimmel is a low-life loser with no talent, no ratings, and no guts," Trump fumed. "He doesn't know the first thing about Melania. He should be ashamed of himself for attacking a beautiful, classy, and smart First Lady who did more in 4 years than his entire career." But Trump wasn't done. Over the next 48 hours, he fired off more than a dozen posts, each more unhinged than the last. He accused Kimmel of breaking federal wiretap laws by airing a private moment, called Melania's critics jealous and sick, and even demanded that Congress investigate left-wing comedians spreading lies. The backlash only grew louder. Kimmel, meanwhile, seemed unbothered. On his next show, he doubled down. "Donald, you do realize the Streisand effect is real, right?" he joked. "Every time you scream, another million people go watch that clip. Keep going. I'm here all week." Then came the twist no one expected. A leak from Melania's former staffer, who provided context to the viral video. According to The Insider, the gala footage was only the tip of the iceberg. "Melania's been done with him for years," she said in an anonymous interview. "She's staying quiet publicly, but behind closed doors, it's ice cold." The revelation opened the floodgates. Old moments from the Trump presidency were suddenly reanalyzed. The swatted hands, the distant stares, the separate travel schedules. It wasn't just awkwardness, it was calculation. And now, the world saw it. Trump, already reeling from multiple court cases, financial pressures, and a roller coaster campaign trail, now had to face an avalanche of questions about his marriage. Questions he couldn't control, couldn't deflect, and definitely couldn't sue away. Insiders say his team urged him to let it go, to pivot, to focus on Biden or the economy or anything but Melania. But Trump, never one to let a grudge die, kept pushing. He allegedly ordered his legal team to explore ways to get Kimmel taken off air, even as his advisors reminded him it was a hopeless battle. Worse still, major donors started pulling back. "They don't want soap opera drama," said one Republican strategist. "They're already nervous about 2024, and now the candidate's marriage is a punchline?" Then came the press conference, a rare one, hastily arranged at Bedminster. Trump stood alone, the sun glaring off his bronzed skin, his red tie blowing slightly in the wind. He looked angry, defensive, but most of all, rattled. "I just want to make something clear," he barked. "Melania is fine. We're doing great. These late-night jokers don't know anything. They make up stories, they lie to you, and they do it because they know I'm winning. That's what this is about. I'm winning." But even as he said the words, his voice cracked slightly. Reporters noted the bags under his eyes. His usual bravado felt brittle. And when one brave journalist shouted, "Why hasn't Melania been seen in over 3 months?" Trump didn't answer. He glared, spun on his heel, and stormed off. The press conference made things worse. The clip of Trump walking out went viral within minutes, paired with slow-motion music and the now ubiquitous caption, "Where is Melania?" Meanwhile, Kimmel had one more card to play. At the end of his next monologue, he dropped a simple line, "You can't spell unraveling without Mar-a-Lago." The crowd roared. As the days passed, late-night hosts from Colbert to Myers joined in. The Melania mystery became the biggest cultural meme of the moment, and Trump's rage only made it more irresistible. Even conservative media, normally reluctant to wade into marital gossip, couldn't resist the ratings boost. One Fox News segment went viral when the hosts awkwardly debated whether Melania was just on vacation or planning an exit. The segment ended with an uncomfortable silence when one commentator deadpanned, "You don't stay off the campaign trail this long unless you're avoiding something or someone." Trump's circle scrambled. There were talks of releasing a photo of Melania at Mar-a-Lago, but according to insiders, she refused. "She doesn't want to play the game anymore," one said. "She's watching it all unfold, quietly." And that's what terrified Trump the most, the silence. Melania wasn't denying anything. She wasn't defending him. She wasn't even reacting. In Trump world, silence is louder than any tweet. And as each day passed, the silence echoed. He tried to pivot. He tried to talk policy again, taxes, immigration, China, but the press kept asking about Melania. "Mr. Trump, will the First Lady be joining you on the trail? Has she responded to the leaked footage? Do you plan to address the video Kimmel aired?" Eventually, he snapped again. On a campaign stop in Iowa, after a question about Melania's whereabouts, Trump shouted into the mic, "Ask her yourself," and stormed offstage. Backstage footage captured him throwing a folder, yelling at staffers and muttering traitors under his breath. The fallout reached every corner of the political world. Pundits questioned his stability, polls showed a dip in suburban support, and for the first time in months, Trump's opponents found a narrative that stuck. Not about policy, not about indictments, but about image. Because if Donald Trump couldn't keep his own wife by his side, how could he claim to keep the country together? Kimmel, ever the opportunist, leaned in harder. He launched a mock Melania tracker on his website, complete with a live counter that read, Days since last Melania sighting. By week's end, it was over 100. Social media joined the circus. Memes of Melania in disguise, in space, at the DMV, and even photoshopped into "Where's Waldo" books trended daily. For every truth Trump tried to spin, there were 10 jokes tearing it apart. And while Trump kept fuming in private, Melania? She remained unseen, unbothered, untouchable. Rumors of a post-nuptial agreement swirled. Some claimed she was negotiating a quiet exit. Others suggested she was simply waiting for the spotlight to shift before re-emerging with new leverage. But whatever the truth was, she wasn't giving Trump what he craved: control. In the end, what began as a throwaway joke from a comedian became a full-blown crisis for a man addicted to dominance. Jimmy Kimmel hadn't just mocked Trump. He had pulled a thread that unraveled the illusion of unity Trump so desperately projected. And now, with each passing day, with each unanswered question, the world wasn't just asking where Melania was. They were starting to wonder why she left at all.